All right, let's just dive right into this. Picture the scene. You're sitting at your desk, and a blank document is just staring back at you. You've got this massive goal to finish, a project to launch, or maybe a life-changing skill you're trying to learn. But instead of typing, you're mindlessly scrolling through social media. You clear off your workspace, you check your email for the fourth time today, and then, right on cue, that inner critic starts shouting.
This perfectly captures that massive disconnect we all feel, doesn't it? On one side, you've got this huge, ambitious goal, and on the other, the reality of what you're actually doing, scrolling, delaying, and avoiding it entirely. You look at this gap, and what happens? You call yourself lazy. You call yourself undisciplined. You tell yourself that you just don't want it badly enough.
Well, I'm here to tell you that you're dead wrong. Seriously, you aren't lazy, you aren't broken. Your brain is literally just trying to save your life. Right now, as you look at that incredibly challenging task on your to-do list, your nervous system is reacting with the exact same neurochemical firestorm it would use if a wild predator just walked into your room. It has triggered a primal biological threat response. See, your brain really only has one main job, and that's energy conservation and physical survival. Honestly, it doesn't care about your dream career or your long-term goals. When you sit down to start something challenging, your brain encounters uncertainty. And to your primal brain, uncertainty equals danger. The moment danger is detected, your brain fires up the amygdala. Your heart rate subtly accelerates, your breathing gets a little shallower, and your body floods your system with cortisol. You are immediately thrown into a fight, flight, or freeze state. So that sudden urge to grab your phone and scroll, that isn't a lack of character. That is the literal flight response in action. Freezing on the couch and staring into space isn't some moral flaw. That is just your body locking down to shield you from perceived harm. And here's where things get truly destructive. Because you don't realize you're in a biological survival state, you start beating yourself up. That wave of self-shame sends another massive threat signal straight back to your brain, which traps you in this vicious loop of anxiety, task avoidance, and self-blame. Trying to force yourself through this state with pure grit is like trying to drive a car with the handbrake pulled all the way up. To fix this, you don't need more grit. You need to reset your brain's internal threat detection system. So here is the exact 4-step framework to trick your nervous system back into safety and turn that frozen energy into actual momentum. 1. Lower the threat floor. 2. Unmask the predator. 3. Offload overload. And 4. Execute a somatic shift.
All right, step 1, lower the threat floor.
We have to understand that your brain naturally resists large, vague goals, like trying to build an entire freelance portfolio from scratch, because it views them as high-risk energy drains. It panics because it sees 1,000 potential ways to fail. So, to slip under your brain's security radar like a ghost, you have to lower the threat floor until the action feels ridiculously safe. Don't commit to working for 2 hours. Just commit to opening the software. That's it. Commit to writing one terrible sentence. When the initial target is micro-sized, the amygdala stays completely silent. It doesn't even register a threat. And this highlights the amazing power of human neurobiology. Once you open the file and write that single sentence, the hardest part is literally over. Action lowers anxiety. The very moment you start, your brain realizes the task isn't going to kill you. Safety is restored, and your natural focus kicks in. But there's a catch here. Sometimes you shrink the task down to a microscopic size, and your mind still flat out refuses to move. Why does that happen? Because the threat isn't the size of the task, it's something hidden underneath.
That brings us to step 2, unmask the silent predator.
You see, most procrastination is actually driven by hidden fears that you just haven't explicitly named yet. When you hit an invisible brick wall, grab a piece of paper and write down the honest answer to this single question. What am I actually afraid will happen if I do this? Are you afraid you'll spend weeks on a project only for it to completely fall flat? Are you afraid of being judged by your friends or even strangers? Or maybe you're secretly terrified that if you do succeed, your life is going to become completely overwhelming. You have to name the predator. When fears remain unspoken, they just linger in the subconscious as this heavy, nameless dread. But the second you write those fears down, your prefrontal cortex, the logical, analytical part of your brain, takes over. You suddenly realize that making a mistake isn't a life-threatening situation. It's just raw data. It's feedback.
Now for step 3. Offload your cognitive overload.
This is exactly where millions of high achievers accidentally sabotage themselves every single day. They force their brain to hold every task, idea, and tiny detail while trying to execute.
But here's the thing. Your brain is a high-speed processor, not a storage unit. Forcing it to hold all your plans and schedules is like trying to run 50 heavy applications on a computer with almost zero memory. The whole system just crashes. Top performers don't rely on mental storage. They build external operating systems. They use streamlined digital workspaces, clean project templates, and structured management dashboards. When you sit down at your desk and every single microstep is already mapped out right in front of you, cognitive friction drops to absolute zero. You aren't burning precious mental energy deciding what to do next, you simply execute the system. Systems create predictability, and predictability signals absolute safety to your nervous system.
So you might have your tasks broken down, your fears written out, and your system ready to go. But what happens when you're already locked into a physical state of paralysis? You can't just talk your way out of a physiological state using the exact same brain that created the freeze response in the first place. You have to stop arguing with yourself and change your physical state first.
To make a somatic shift, first stand up. Then, take a double inhale and breathe out slowly. Finally, move your body quickly.
When you change your physiology, you break the somatic freeze response. Physical action has to precede mental comfort. By taking a physical microaction, you signal safety to your body, which then unlocks your mental focus.
Let's step back and look at the big picture for a second. Productivity is not a test of your moral character, and focus isn't just a badge of honor for the hyper-disciplined. Focus is simply a natural biosignal of a nervous system that feels safe. When you stop treating yourself like a lazy machine that needs to be whipped into submission, everything changes. You stop fighting your own biology and start designing an environment where your brain can naturally thrive. Once you remove the perceived threat, the paralysis disappears entirely on its own. I want you to pause for just a second. Think about someone in your life right now, maybe a friend, a partner, or a colleague, who is currently stuck on the couch beating themselves up because they think they're just lazy. They are trapped in the exact same biological freeze state that you were in just a few minutes ago. Do them a massive favor right now. Share this explainer with them. Sending this could be the exact circuit breaker they need to stop the self-blame and finally regain control.
I want to leave you with one final, provocative question to think about. What is the one task your brain has been treating like a literal threat, and what tiny microstep are you going to take today to conquer it? Go ahead and leave a comment right now with your answer. Then, get off this explainer, go take that microscopic step and break the cycle.